Well, Olive, the hearings have just concluded about 20 or so minutes ago, and this is following the postponement of the sentencing by the Judge Justice Joel Ngugi. It was almost an hour-long sitting where the prosecution, the victims' lawyers, and also the defense lawyers gave their final submissions. Jane Muthoni and her co-accused Isaac alias Gikuyu were following through the proceedings at different locations at the Nairobi Remand Prison and also the Langata Women's Prison. What is significant, Olive, is that during these final submissions, just before Justice Joel Ngugi presents his final sentencing, they really asked, or from the prosecution rather, they pled for the court to consider the death penalty for the two accused persons, saying that this will be justice 5 years later since the death of the Kiiru principal, Solomon Mbuthi. What is a surprise also, Olive, is that during these proceedings, the daughter of the deceased and also one of the accused persons, the first accused, Jane Muthoni, did seek the obligation of the court to present her own submissions, and the court really allowed her to speak. And what she spoke rather is from the point of view of a victim and a person who's been affected by the loss of her parent, who allegedly was killed by her mother. And in her submission, June Mbuthi said that she really wanted the court to consider that they have stayed, or as the children, the four children of the first accused and the deceased principal have stayed without a parental figure, and it has affected them psychologically, emotionally and financially. And she was begging the court's audience in terms of allowing or giving a lenient penalty to the mother. The accused, the first accused person, Jane Muthoni, in this case, also had an opportunity to address the court. And in her opinion, she said she is innocent. She maintained her innocence and also said that those who are guilty of the killings of her husband are out there celebrating their injustice. And also the second accused, Isaac alias Gikuyu, was also given an opportunity to present his case. And he pled that because he is a parent and since the proceedings have taken this long, 5 years, they've been in remand, he asked for the court's indulgence in terms of also a lenient sentence so that he could also have some time to be present in the lives of his children who have since been left, because he says his wife left him immediately he was arrested. And the defense rather has been pleading and also insisting that the accused persons are innocent, and in fact they're going to petition the Court of Appeal to look into the sentencing that found the first accused, that is Jane Muthoni, and Isaac alias Gikuyu guilty of the murder of Solomon Mbuthi, who was the principal of Kiiru High School. It was an anticipated day here in Nakuru County because the sittings were taking place here in Nakuru so that we would get to know what the sentencing would be. But I do believe that the prosecution was also saying that they should consider the penal code, which I should rather refer to my notes rather here. It's talking about the penal code of 204 of the Penal Code, which gives the death sentence to persons accused or found guilty of murder in this country. It is an incident that happened in 2016 November, and the principal was rather killed in a very heinous manner. According to court records, he was strangled to death in the presence of his wife and also the other accused persons. There were a few accused people here in this case, rather, Olive, and one of them did turn into a state witness. And of interest, rather, is just to see how this court will rule or issue its sentence come June the 3rd, because it is a matter of national importance. And according also to the submissions by the victims' lawyers, is that as the first accused, this is Jane Muthoni, and who's also the wife of the slain principal. She was a teacher and a role model for that matter, and she should have also led by example because she was obligated to instill ethos and ethics in the people she educated or educated, because both of them were teachers. But what is significant, rather, what we'll be looking into is the statement by the daughter of the accused person and the slain principal, who was at this time calling for leniency in terms of the sentencing. And she says as children, they've been greatly affected by this court proceeding, and she does hope that the court will consider her submission, as Justice Joel Ngugi is expected to finally put a close to this case on the 3rd of June, and that's just about next week on Thursday.
All right, thank you.